What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bananas Epic Gaming's CageTalk. And today is another ranking video, and we are going to be ranking Legacies, the Vampire Diaries, and the originals. And it's going to be a 15 season ranking from my favorite to my least favorite of this universe. And if you disagree, let me know in the comments what your favorites are. It's not going to be tire-wise. I'm just going to rank them all together. So number 15 may be season number 8 of the Vampire Diaries, and number 14 may be Legacies season 1. This is going to be all of them together. My personal favorite of this universe. And here we go. So my least favorite season out of this entire Vampire Diaries universe is gonna be the Vampire Diaries, season number 7. Season number 7 was neck and neck with one of the original seasons for my least favorite season. But the reason why this one won is because, for a few reasons, I'm gonna go over those reasons right now. This is the first season that we don't have Elena Gilbert, aka Nina Dobrev. I love Nina Dobrev. And the fact that she wasn't in this season, I didn't care about this season that much. I didn't watch it. I only watched it when I was bored. I still watched it when it was on the air, but I didn't rush home from work and play it. I just watched it on the DVR, on one of my days off. And the villains in this season were the Heretics, who are Stefan and Damon's mother, who was trapped in a prison realm in the year 1903. And the Huntress Rena Cruz. The Huntress Rena Cruz, her whole thing is, she stabs you, gives you the Huntress mark, she'll hunt you no matter what. Until she dies. And if she dies, runs out of lives, you die, is what I got from that. Go watch this season and you understand why I said that. But this whole season is just a drag to get through. There's a time jump, I think maybe 10 years, a time jump. Damon desiccated himself from some time in that little time period. We don't see him do it, from what I remember, because he wants to wake up when Elena's woken up, because he can't live without Elena. So I'm going to go over some of the points that somebody pointed out, like where they are at the end of the season. So, spoiler alert, from here on out. Stefan and Caroline are finally back together after Lark graciously lets her go be with him. Bonnie lost all her magic once she became the Huntress and didn't get it back until the Everlasting was killed. She was devastated once she heard about the news about Damon and Enzo. Matt decided to leave Mystic Falls for good and give up on Supernatural fight. Damon and Enzo are off somewhere suspending dead bodies from ceilings. Everybody is on the hunt to find Damon and Enzo and save them. So, yeah, this whole season I did not like. It felt like they didn't know what to do when Nina Dobrev decided to leave, and they just threw this together. I felt like if she was still there, this season still would have happened, but it would have been with Elena. Now on to the next season. And the next season is The Originals, season number 4. Why is it this one? I'll explain right now. So this season, we didn't know what was going to happen, because something really big happened at the end of season 3. And spoiler alert, I'm going to say what happened right now. The original family were infected with something, and they were going to die. So they got put to sleep. I believe it was the same sleeping spell that we used on Elena, until Haley could find the cure. So fast forward a couple months, like the summer break type of months, Haley was a few inches away from finding the cure. And the main villain in this season is the Hollow. I don't remember much about the Hollow because I hated this season with a fiery passion. It's only not my least favorite season because the Vampire Diaries season 7, they didn't have Elena, but they tried to do something different. But the originals, the Hollow, and it wasn't going to affect Hope because she's a nature loophole. I just didn't like it. Some of the things that worked for this season was Vincent. I wasn't a fan of Vincent. He felt too needy and whiny and wanted everybody to give him credit for everything that he did at every turn. But we knew he went through a lot. But he was still growing on me at this point. Kellen and Freya, they rocked this season from what I remember. Freya finally got a good storyline that wasn't about her brothers and her sister. And she made it her own. And the always and forever quote. I've used this quote myself, and this quote worked. Because they stuck together always and forever until the last episode, when they couldn't really do it because they got the Hollow split up and put in them. Spoiler. And they had to disappear. They had to go their separate ways because if they're together, it could infect Hope. What didn't work? Haley and Elijah. I was having a hard time with this one at the time because I really, really liked these two together. But Haley's a great mother. Elijah's a great uncle. I was getting angry at them because Haley was losing sight and letting her heart do the talking. And Elijah's just annoying. Klaus. Klaus is the one character that's had the greatest redemption arc / rise of anybody in the Vampire Diaries universe. We first met him in the Vampire Diaries, I believe it was season 3. Yeah, season 3. Joseph Morgan first came on our screens, if I'm correct, and we hated him. We couldn't stand him. And now look at him. Now everybody misses Klaus, and they want Klaus in Legacies season 2. Not gonna happen, but who knows? Never say never. And tying it all up in a bow. Maybe this was the writer's way of saying we don't want to do another season, but they got renewed for another season, so they had to do something, which is why we got the ending to the original season 5 the way we did. But we wanted to see more of the daddy-daughter moments with Klaus and his daughter Hope. Knowing what we know now from Hope, we deserved those moments, but we never got them. We wanted to see more of a reconnecting of love and the relationship reconnecting of Elijah and Haley. Well, we need to see more Hope. Hope is the actress that plays her. She's a tremendous actress. She's also one of the biggest sweethearts. And Josh. We need more Josh because he is an underrated character. The things that I wanted to see less of is Sophia and the Hollow. And the fact that Marcel always wanted to prove that he was the king. Yeah. One of my favorite episodes of the season was Voodoo in My Blood. I just remember that episode sticking out, and I remember the Feast of All Sinners sticking out too. Now on to the next season. And that next season is season number 5, aka the final season of the originals, is the next season up. Man, the originals, family of vampires, the Microsons, have had a long, long journey. They actually first came onto our TV screens in season number 2. I can't believe I forgot about that. I think it's because the person that plays Alaric played Klaus for most of that season. But season number 5, Rebecca got a happy ending. Cole got a happy ending. Klaus and Elijah kind of didn't. I knew that Elijah was going to have a big redemption arc this season because of what happened in the early half of the season. The villains of this season are the Sienna family and Emmett, a bunch of vampires from Klaus's past that he screwed over and that they wanted to take down the mighty Klaus Michelson and the Michelson family. But this season gave us so many good things, and it set up the spinoff of AKA the Originals. Freya, spoiler alert from here on out, Freya and her significant other are going to start a family with Vincent. Hope is fully grown, because now all we have left from this wonderful series is Marcel, Rebecca, Freya, Vincent, and Cole, and Hope. Haley died this season. Klaus and Elijah die. They kill themselves with a hollow inside it, so the hollow's gone. Because Klaus took in the hollow, and then he had Elijah, White Oak, stake him, and he did the same to Elijah, because Elijah felt like his mission was accomplished. Klaus killed himself for his daughter, so his daughter can live a happy life. But there's so much to say about this season that hasn't already been said. Go watch this season, then you can watch the Legacies right after. But this season felt like it could have been better, and they could have done better for Klaus, because we finally got that him and Caroline little moment that we've been waiting for since they were last together on the Vampire Diaries. Elijah lost the love of his life. It felt like they could have done better for this season. Now on to the next season. That's all I'm going to say. So the next season, I realistically have to put it here because it's not out yet. And that is Legacies season number 2. There is not that much known about this season, so I'm going to explain why I put it right here and what we know right now. So Legacies season 2, I believe, picks up like immediately after the end of season 1. Hope is trapped somewhere with Ryan Clark. Don't know much about that. We're also getting a new vampire named Sebastian. There's also going to be a new professor to the Salvatore School. The old professor was your favorite and mine, Mr. Alaric Saltzman from the Vampire Diaries. We're probably going to get an original on set. Somebody may visit from the originals. So it may be Rebecca or Freya or Marcel or Cole. I hope it's Rebecca, because I love the actress who plays Rebecca. There's a new romance on the horizon for Josie. Joji is one of Alaric's twins. They're part of the Gemini Coven. More on that a little later, because they were in the Vampire Diaries as like little babies. And I know who the romance is. I'm not going to let you guys know. I want you guys to watch it for yourselves. Lizzie, the second of the twins, is going to be spending the summer in Europe with her mother, fraternal mother, Caroline. It was supposed to be Joe, but Joe, spoiler alert, died. And the Gemini Coven mother swapped from Joe to Caroline, because Caroline's a vampire. The Salvatore School was going to get a flirtatious new student. And we're going to get a Christmas episode in the Vampire Diaries universe. That is all we know, and that's all I'm gonna go out and look for. I don't want to be told anything, because I love this show. I adore Kaylee Bryant, who plays Josie. She's a tremendous actress and a sweetheart. The actress that plays Hope is the same one that played Hope in the originals, the adult version. She is a sweetheart as well. But Josie has my heart, and I do not want to spoil anything. Now on to the next season. And the next season is The Vampire Diaries, season number 6. This season of The Vampire Diaries was Nina Dobrov's last season before she left and came back for the finale. I'll tell you why I chose this season right now. So, the big cliffhanger of season 5, I'm going to get a little more into that, but I'm going to talk about it right here for a little bit. Bonnie and Damon are still gone. The other side collapsed. And the whole season it was trying to move on without them because everybody thought that they were gone for good. But Bonnie and Damon, of course, they come back. The whole season they try to come back. And that's when we meet the big bad, Kai Parker, played by Chris Wood. This is the first season that we have Elena, Bonnie, and Caroline in college. They go to Whitmore College. We have Tyler, who's now a human. He's not a werewolf anymore because when he died and went to the other side and he was brought back, the werewolf curse gene that he had was gone. The best episode has to be the last episode of the season. Yes, that is the one that we lose Elena, but that's when shit hits the fan. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this is one of my favorite seasons to watch. Because Kai, and we have a new vampire named Enzo, Jeremy, Stefan, Elena, Bonnie, Damon, all of them stepped up their game for this season. They were all tremendous this season. And going into the next season that we got after this one, it was a little bit of a letdown, but there's only so much they can do. This is season 6, season 5? Season 6. Season 5 was when they hit their peak. And after this season, season 6, they started to go down a little, in my mind. But as long as Nina Dobrev is on the screen, I would watch it, no matter what. Now on to the next season. So we're going to hop right into the next one, and the next season on my list is The Vampire Diaries, season number 8, aka the final season. I'll explain why right now. Season number 8 is only this low because it's the final season. We finally got Nina Dobrev back, and Stefan had a crappy send-off. Because, spoiler alert, Stefan dies in this season. He dies at the end. And everybody was trying to figure out what does this mean for the little snippets that we got for everybody, like Bonnie. It shows what Bonnie's doing, Elena, Damon, Matt, etc. I took it like it shows them in their life, and then the ending, like Elena's, if you've seen it, where she sees her mom and Jenna and her dad and her foster parents, that's her after she dies. But the main villains in this season are Sybil, Damon Salvatore, Celine, Stefan Salvatore, and the Devil. And Catherine Pierce is back. And Damon tries to make a sacrifice play to be the big brother to Stefan, but Stefan does not let that happen. Stefan sacrifices himself and takes Catherine down with him. Damon stays alive. He's human. Elena's back alive. She's awake. The Sleeping Beauty spell is broken. Couple weeks have passed, maybe, and we ended it like that. And we don't hear these names until Legacies season 1, because Legacies season 1 is in the same town. We hear that Damon and Elena have kids. Elena's a doctor, etc., etc. Matt is the head sheriff. Tyler Lockwood is gone. Vicky's gone. Stefan is gone. And that's pretty much it. And Alaric Saltzman is the headmaster of the Salvatore School. This is a good season. It has its moments, but it's not my favorite. I like it a lot better than the one without Elena. This season doesn't really have Elena, but this season almost wrapped it up in a perfect, nice little bow. Now on to the next season. Okay, so the next season on my list is a season that I want to talk about for a little bit, and that is Vampire Diaries, season number 4. Now, this season was really good. I'm going to explain what I liked about it right now. So season number 4 begins with everything that happened in season 3. Elena awakes in the hospital after the accident, and her worst nightmare has come true. She's a vampire. And the whole season is basically them trying to make it easy for Elena, and they learn about the cure. They go and find the cure. They're going to give it to Elena so Elena can live out her dreams of having a family, growing old, and dying. She does not want to be a vampire, basically. The main villains of this season are Pastor Young, sheriff deputies, Connor Jordan, the Michelsons, Alexander, the Brotherhood of the Five, Shane, Jeremy Gilbert, Kimberly and Adrian, Vaughn, Catherine Pierce is back, and Silas. And Marcel Gerard was in this season for one episode, because that episode tied into the originals. And Elena Gilbert was a villain for 5 episodes because she turned off her humanity. Spoiler alert coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When Jeremy Gilbert died. But he came back. And then this season also tied in with the other side collapsing and Bonnie and Damon being stuck on the other side, which I talked in episode 5's placement. Or I'm going to talk about episode 5's placement. This season was a step in the right direction. I love this season because I loved this show. I still love this show because Nina Dobrev was the whole reason why I started watching the show, because I had and I still do have the biggest crush on Nina Dobrev. Now on to the next season, because I'm not going to spoil anything else from this season. The next season on my list is going to be The Originals, season number 1. And I'm going to tell you why right now. So The Originals, season number 1. For me, I was uncertain on this season. The villains are so many from this season, like Marcel, Rebecca, Michael, Angus, Father, Kieran, the Human Faction, the French Coulter, Davina Sinclair, Sophia, Tyler Lockwood, Celeste, Papa Tunde, Genevieve, Esther Michelson. There were so many villains in this season because this entire season was basically about Klaus had relations with Haley Marshall in the Vampire Diaries. She gets pregnant. They go back to New Orleans. I forgot the reason why they went back to New Orleans, but they go back to New Orleans. That's when he runs into Marcel, his vampire that he turned long time ago, that he treated like a son. And then Marcel fell in love with Rebecca, and apparently, if my memory is correct, they didn't see Marcel after Michael came to get them. And that's when they took off and left New Orleans, and they never went back until this season. So this entire season is like the Klaus's redemption arc and him being ready to become a father, and we start to see Klaus go up. We start to like Klaus a little more in this series. The season ends with Hope being born. They fake her death. They give hope to Rebecca, play off that she died, and Davina St. Clair, who is a tremendous character, and she's played by a tremendous actress. I think the actress's name, I'm trying to remember. Daniela Campbell? Daniela Campbell is the actress's name that played her. Adore her. Her and Nina Dobrev are my two favorites. All hid the fact that Hope is alive, but Esther Michelson comes back from the other side, because I'm pretty sure that this season was happening the same time that the other side collapsed, and then she came out of the other side, and she pulled Michael, and she pulled Finn from the other side, and Cole, because I'm pretty sure Cole was dead too. I don't remember. It's been a long time. And then there were the villains in season number 2, leading to Aunt Dahlia. I'm not going to spoil too much, because this is the first season of the show. So go like it, and go watch it, because it's worth the watch. It's free if you have Netflix. Now on to the next season. The next season is the season that started this entire universe. That is, The Vampire Diaries. Season number 1. I wasn't really watching it when it first came out. I wish I was. But I started binge watching it when season 3 was about to start. Because I was in the hospital. I was really sick. I didn't have nothing to do but just lay in bed and try and get better. And I was there for like 2.5, 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure that if my memory is correct, I binge watched Season 1 and Season 2 in like 3 days. I watched it non-stop. I was hooked. And that's when my big crush for Nina Dobrev came in because of this. The main villains of this are the tomb vampires, the council, the people that locked them all up, their ancestors locked them all up, the tomb vampires up, and Catherine Pierce. Nina Dobrev, I'm pretty sure this was her first starring role on a TV series, and she did an amazing job. I cried when she cried. I felt the pain she felt, and I was mesmerized by her beauty when I first saw this season. And I would love to watch this season again. This is one of my seasons that I can watch without any problem. The season without Elena and that awful random cruise thing, yeah, no. Season 1 was the start of the roller coaster going up, and it still holds true to this very day. It is a tremendous season, and it didn't disappoint me. And I got my mother hooked on it. She loves it. My sister loves this season. All in all, good season. Great job to everybody that's involved in this season. And now on to the next season. And the next season is going to be The Vampire Diaries, season number 5. And I'll tell you why right now. What can I say about the season? Wow. This season was a roller coaster of emotions. The main villains were the Travelers. The Travelers tried to strip all the magic from Mystic Falls, making it so the vampires could not return. Silas, who is Stefan's doppelganger, and I'm pretty sure it was because of him the vampire curse was made, because he broke the heart of a witch. He fell in love with Nina Dobrov's doppelganger, Austria, hundreds of thousands of years ago. I don't know the time frame, but I know it was those two that were the reason why the vampire curse was made, gene was made. Nadia Petrova, who is Catherine's daughter. Catherine had a daughter before she became a vampire. And Catherine Pierce. This is Catherine Pierce's last hurrah, because she starts to become human and she eventually dies. Damon and Bonnie are stuck on the other side. The St. Augustine Society was introduced in this season, and this is the first season that has Enzo. Damon and Bonnie don't come back until season 6 from the other side. They basically try and bring back everybody that died throughout the show that they could get to come back for another season. Alaric, Tyler, Cole, just to name a few. And by the time it was just Damon and Bonnie, they ran out of time. And that's all I'm going to say for this season, because this is another great season of the Vampire Diaries. After this season, it started to go downhill just a little bit. And Kai Parker is introduced in the following season. But once Kai leaves, that's when it goes downhill. Goes downhill for me. Now on to the next season. And the next season is going to be The Originals, season number 2. To make this short and sweet, I really love this season. Almost as much as I love season 3, which is the last season that's left from the Originals series. The main villains were Aunt Dahlia and the Originals' mother, Esther, Cole, and Finn. But the main big baddie was Aunt Dahlia. Esther tried to sacrifice / kill her kids to make them pure again, and she wanted Hope dead. So the entire events of season 1 happened because Esther doesn't want Dahlia coming back. Because Dahlia and Esther made a promise that every firstborn of each lineage will go to Esther. We'll go to Dahlia. So Klaus's firstborn, in this case, Hope, will have to go to Dahlia, no matter what. And this entire season was them getting ready to fight Dahlia and trying to hide Hope. I really like this season, and it's one of the better seasons in this entire universe. There's only like 1 or 2 bad episodes. They have some really good high points and some really good low points. But even the high points outweigh the low points, if that makes sense. I'm not going to give too much away, but you need to watch this season, because it is a tremendous season, and it's important for another show, Legacies, which is still on the list, and I haven't talked about that yet. So that's telling you that how good this season is. And they have a song, Letters from the Sky, in an episode, and that's another reason why it's so high up in my favorites. And Haley, the actress that plays Haley, Phoebe Token, tremendous actress. She really shined. Same as Joseph Morgan and Daniel, who plays Elijah. Joseph plays Klaus. Tremendous acting from these young people. Just a tremendous job. I'm lost for words. Now on to the next season. Speaking of Legacies, the next season is going to be Legacies, season number 1, and I'll tell you why right now. So this season, the time frame has to be 2023, 2024, because Hope is a teenager and she was only born in like 2010, 11, so it has to be like a long time has to have passed. Klaus is no longer with us. He's gone. Elijah's gone. Rebecca and Marcel are who knows where. Freya is possibly raising her daughter right now, or is pregnant. Cole and Davina are married on the West Coast. Hope Michelson is played by the tremendously talented Danielle Rose Russell. We got Alaric Saltzman and Matt Donovan back in this series, played by the same actors, Matthew Davis and Zach. This series starts off with Hope and Alaric going to rescue Raphael, who is a werewolf, and they run into Landon Kirby, who's waiting outside, because they took Raphael to a priest because they thought he was possessed. His foster parents did. They say it and they bring him to the school, yada yada yada. And that's where we meet Kaylee Bryant, who I adore, who plays Josie Saltzman, and Jenny Boyd, who plays Lizzie. MG, who's played by Quincy. His mother is one of the main bad guys in this season. The main bad guys are Triad Industries, the Dragon Girl, the Necromancer, Veronica Greasley, Ryan Clark, and the Burrower, and Malivore. Malivore is a place where they throw you inside the pit. Malivore's like a big pit. You get erased from existence. Nobody remembers you. And they're trying to open Malivore. Ryan Clark is, because Ryan Clark, his father, is the pit. Spoiler alert. In 3, 2, 1. He falls into the pit because Hope takes him into the pit. Hope is erased from existence, and that's where season 2 starts. This was a really good first season. It was like 16 episodes, and it wasn't that long, and I was upset that it was only 16 episodes because I wanted more. I wanted more with Josie and Lizzie about the merge. I wanted more Hope. I wanted to see Hope and Landon's romance blossom. I wanted to see Penelope and Josie's romance blossom. Oh yeah, Josie is bisexual in this TV show. I wanted to see more of that dynamic, more of that little core group: Josie, Raphael, Landon, Hope, Lizzie. I want to see those people connect more. Hopefully we get more of that in season 2. Now on to the next season, because I'm not going to spoil anything for you, because this is kind of still new. It's almost been a year since it started, because season 2 is about to start in a few weeks. So go watch it. It's on Netflix. But let's get to the next season. And the next season is going to be The Vampire Diaries, season number 2, and I'll tell you why The Vampire Diaries season number 2 is it right now. So The Vampire Diaries season number 2 picks up immediately after the end of season number 1. The tomb vampires who were stuck in the tomb and they desecrated, they woke up, and Damon, who was trying to open the tomb in season 1, if my memory is correct, was trying to get Catherine, who is Nina Dobrov's, Elena's character's doppelganger, that turned them to vampires. And the main villain of the season is Klaus Michelson. This is the first season with Klaus Michelson, but I'm pretty sure that we didn't have Joseph Morgan playing Klaus. There's a lot of spoilers in this season, so I'm not going to go through everything, but this season made The Vampire Diaries into what it is known for, and that is a great love teen drama. If you haven't seen season number 2, go see season number 2, because I'm not going to talk about it all in depth like I did most of the other seasons, because this season is that good. This is one of the best seasons of a TV show I've seen, in my personal opinion. Now on to the next season. And the next season is the original season number 3. I'm going to tell you why the original season number 3 is my number 2 favorite season in the entire Vampire Diaries universe right now. So the original season number 3, not to give too much away, I'm not going to try and give too much away, but the main villains are Lucian, Tristan, and Aurora. Aurora and Tristan are brother and sister. Lucian is their servant. They were the first people Rebecca, Cole, and Klaus turned. Klaus turned Lucian, Tristan got turned by Elijah, and Aurora got turned by Rebecca. And they came back because the Michelson family set them up. They made Michael think they were them so they can escape, and they got chased around the globe by Michael. Until Michael eventually found out that it wasn't them. Duh. And the Strix. So this entire whole season is about sire lines. Spoiler alert in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When Klaus eventually dies in the original series finale, they didn't want to end the Vampire Diaries there, but they did to do what they did in this season. Half of the vampire population would be wiped out. They broke Klaus's sire line, so that way they can eventually kill him off. But the reason why this is one of my favorites is because Klaus Michelson makes a sacrifice play. Vincent, Freya, Davina, and the Strix, the ancestors, they make this vampire juice steroids. Lucian takes it. He becomes stronger than the original. They kill Lucian, and then Marcel takes it. And Eliza kills Marcel, but in doing that, he triggered Marcel to become stronger than an original. His bite is more poison to an original. It can kill an original. His bite can kill them. So he bit Elijah. Freya got messed up. Rebecca got cursed, so they got put to sleep. But Klaus didn't get put to sleep. He didn't get bit. He basically went and took all the crap everybody was giving him. And he got stabbed with Papa Tunde's blade. And he was in purgatory for vampires until they can find a cure. So he risked his life, possibly knowing that he might not see Hope grow up. Because when we fast forward, it's been like a year, couple years, and Hope is older. And so Klaus missed all that time because he was daggered. So his family could have a chance to live. And when we first met Klaus, we knew he wouldn't do that, but now he has. That's a great redemption for a character that everybody hated. That's all I'm going to say about this season. Go watch it. Now on to my number 1 favorite season. So here it is, my number 1 favorite season of this Vampire Diaries Legacies Originals universe is The Vampire Diaries, season number 3. This season, the original family are the main villains. Klaus Michelson has a goal. He wants to become a true hybrid. But in order to do that, he has to do the ritual. And the ritual is killing a human, killing a werewolf, and killing a freshly, newly made vampire. He does that at the end of the season. And we lose some pretty important characters in this season. I'm not going to say who we lose because I want you to experience that for yourself. But man, you gotta feel bad for Jeremy and Elena. That's all I gotta say. And we get Joseph Morgan playing his iconic role of Klaus Michelson. He plays Klaus in this season. The original family, they are the best Vampire Diaries villains. Original villains, legacy villains, whatever you want to call it, in this universe. You love to hate them, and they're that dang good. I don't want to give too much away about this season because it is an important season. So go watch it. And that's all I gotta say about this season. It's so good. Nina Dobrev does an amazing job. Claire Holt does a good job. Everybody that's in this season does a tremendous job. You feel for everybody in this season. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to give away too many spoilers. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Tap the little bell on the YouTube app so you guys never miss an upload. And I'll see you at the next CageTalk. Peace.